Have you ever gotten to the point in life where you're not sure if you should go down the path that you think you should go down because you're afraid you're going to fail? Because you're afraid that you're not going to be able to make it and you're going to end up back where you started. So you just don't even take the action in the first place. If that describes you, stay tuned, because in this video we're going to talk about escapism. And we're going to talk about avoiding your problems and perfectionism, which is a common problem that most of us face. What's up, Simple Programmers? I'm John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. Simple Programmer is a channel that combines software development, advice, as well as life skills and helps you to become not just a better developer, but a better person, a better human being, and to live a more fulfilled life. Here's the email. He says, "My name is Min, big fan of your channel and content. Your book, The Complete Software Developer's Career Guide, helped me greatly in getting my first job as a web developer." He says, "And your content these days does really help me think about my life. For example, I'm reading The Way of the Superior Man by your recommendation. I'm truly enjoying it. As the book encourages, I am also trying to be the man who accepts life and the present moment as it is. And I actually feel I am growing as a person." This is good, all right? "However, it is also true that I have been hindering myself and running away from the real world for a long time, and I still depend on escapism, games, watching TV, internet surfing to stabilize my life. The question is this: I want to see if I can become a person who can solely focus on the reality and my life, free from all the excuses and even the slightest burden. However, because of my many past failures, I'm worried that I might fail and get off track like I did before. I tell myself that I should not be so hasty, or that having some escapism is actually scientifically better for you." Justification. And he says, "I know it is a very weird question, but I hope you understand my point. Is wanting for the leap to perfectionist and meaningless? Is there even value in that? I really hope you can give me perspective on this matter. I will also try to figure this out myself. I can always try and experiment. Maybe I'm just fearful. Anyway, thanks so much for your content always." You're afraid of failing. Okay, this is a fear of failure. It's a very, very common fear. Okay, so it's preventing you from going down this path that you know you should go. You know that you should not be wasting your time playing video games and watching TV and this whole escapism routine that's escaping reality. You need to face reality, okay? You need to take a look in the mirror and see yourself clearly and see what it is. What are your defects, okay? From maybe physical. Maybe you're overweight and maybe you need to lose some weight, okay? Maybe you have emotional defects. Maybe you need some character. Maybe you need some self-discipline. Maybe you need to stop being lazy, right? You need to face all these things up, okay? And look them square in the face. It does no good to escape reality from playing video games, drinking, drugs, whatever it is. Escaping reality is not going to help you to improve your life. And I think you know this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be emailing me. Otherwise, you wouldn't be saying this. So you know that this is true. You're afraid that if you go down this path, that you're gonna fail, you're gonna mess up, and you're gonna go back to your normal life, and you failed before, and so you're afraid to go down this path. So this is, again, a very common problem. I'm going to give you a couple of hints here, a couple of things I think will help you with this. The first one is a word that you used, which we should talk about, is perfectionism. One of the greatest enemies to progress is the false belief that you need perfection to make progress. You don't need 100% adherence in order to be able to make progress, okay? In fact, 90% is usually going to be plenty good, right? I was just discussing this with some entrepreneur friends today when we were talking about getting a certain amount of work done and setting the bar high. And I was talking about how, like, if we only committed to, to something that we know we could do, for productivity, I'm using the Pomodoro technique. I don't want to go, sidetrack from this, but essentially if we could just do 8 Pomodoros per day, we would be super productive. You have to realize that perfectionism is going to mess you up because you are going to fail. See, the people that succeed in life are not the people that never fail, that never mess up. They're the people that get back up quickly and anticipate failure. If your strategy for life, okay, for anything you're trying to do, is that you're never going to break the streak, you're never going to miss, you're never going to mess up, you're going to be perfect. That strategy works great. right? You have 100% adherence, you have 100% compliance, you're getting 100% of the results until you fail, and then you lose everything. You go back to ground zero because you can't get back up, you can't recover. You're like the boxer with the glass jaw that gets knocked down once and he's done. Okay, instead, what you need to do is to know ahead of time that you're not going to be 100% compliant. You're not going to be 100% adherent to whatever it is, a diet plan, a workout plan, discipline in working, in productivity techniques, in whatever it is. You're not going to be 100% compliant, anger management, whatever it is. But instead, to plan for the failure and to strategize how you can get back up as quickly as possible. See, I accomplish a lot. I get a lot of things done. I'm a very, very productive person, okay? I hardly ever miss a workout, right? I have a lot of good successes in my life, but I'll tell you why I have them. It's not because I never fail. I fail. I make mistakes, okay? I make less of them now than I used to. I definitely am closer to that perfection of compliance. But I know when I make a mistake, I know that the most valuable, most important thing is not never making the mistake. It's getting back up on the fucking horse as quickly as possible. That is what is the most important thing. That is what is really going to define your success in life, is how quickly can you get back up. Remember, the boxer with the glass jaw gets punched once and he's down. Okay, Rocky, how many times does Rocky get back up? He gets back up and he pops up again, he pops up again. You can't knock him down. It doesn't matter because he's up like that. That's the champion. That's the heart of the lion. That's the person who wins in life. So stop worrying about if you're going to fail. You will fail. You're not going to be perfect just because you get on this path. That's fine. Doesn't mean you don't take the path. Doesn't mean you don't go out there. But as long as you can breathe and you can do it, try it. Go for it. Big deal. It's not even a big deal if you fail, right? You're going to learn from that. But our mind, what it wants to do is it wants to tell us that no, it's too risky. Don't take the risk. Don't fail. Instead, we have to condition ourselves to say, no, I'm going to make the right action regardless of the success of it or not, and I will continue to make the right actions. Otherwise, you're going to waste your life, right? The alternative is being stuck in this escapism, okay? So now I'll give you guys the couple of tips I told you I'd promise you at the end of the video. If you're stuck in video game hell, and you know, maybe not hell, maybe you like it, but I've been there myself, okay? And you're just in this escapism mode where you're escaping reality and you're not actually facing reality. The first thing that you need to do is to have some clear goals in life. If you know what you're after, then you can now take those goals and you can set a plan into action. Now you create a system and you create a process and you create a plan to achieve those goals, and you schedule it on your calendar, okay? If you were to look at my calendar right now, okay, if you were to go to my Google Calendar, you would see that I have this time scheduled to do this work, and then you would see that at 12:30 I have scheduled run 6 miles, and at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. I have scheduled lift upper body, okay? I've got that stuff scheduled on my calendar. That's what's going to make it happen. So if you're stuck, like, it's a matter of time, okay? If you don't have time, or if you have time and you don't have it filled out and you don't know what you're supposed to do and you don't have these appointments with yourself on the calendar, you're going to sit down and you're going to play video games, you're going to watch TV, you're going to do some kind of escapist activity. But if you know that you're supposed to be somewhere at a specific time, or you're supposed to work on something or do something at a specific time because it's on your calendar, you're going to find it more difficult to escape reality. See, it's a default. We have to worry about the defaults. The reason why you're playing video games, the reason why you're doing these kind of escapist activities is because you don't have something else planned to do. If you have a job and you go to work, you know that you have to be at work at 9 a.m. You don't end up playing video games. I mean, hopefully you don't, right? Because you have that schedule already in place. Put a schedule in place for the goals you want to achieve in your life. Make some goals first, and then put them on your calendar, and you will not waste your time doing meaningless stuff. It doesn't mean you can't ever play video games and have a good time. You can, but schedule it. Have a plan for it. And this is, I'll leave you with one last final thought, guys. The only time wasted is time that you do what you did not intend to do. Again, I'll say this again. The only time wasted is time that you did not do what you intended to do. If you intend to play video games because you've scheduled that, or you intend to work, it's not time wasted. okay? But when you are just by default mode watching TV, when by default mode you're playing video games, when by default mode you're doing stuff that you're daydreaming, right? You're just wasting time browsing the internet. Now you've wasted time. Don't escape reality. Instead, join reality, see reality clearly. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.